kids.
Hello.
Today we are going to be making macaroni cheese because a few of you have requested Charlie's recipes, and we're going to do it in a few various ways, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to do a vegan version, and then we're going to do just regular macaroni cheese, and then we're just going to do some. We're going to make some bacon lardons that you can sprinkle on if you want to have a bit of that in it. But we're going to start off with the vegan version. So here we've got what we need. We've got one potato that we've chopped up, and peeled and chopped up, one carrot we've peeled and chopped up. Then we've got some garlic granules, some onion granules, some vegan nutritional yeast it is. It's you get it in health shops and stuff, and it says on the front, the vegan food with a cheesy nutty taste made from primary inactive yeast with B12. It's delicious. And soya milk, which is we use instead of milk, so it's vegan. But that's all you need. So first of all, Becky's just going to pop these into some boiling salted water until they're cooked.
There we go.
Ta-da! These are cooked, so we need to put them in the colander, drain them, and then put them back into the pan.
Okie dokie.
So we need a pinch of salt, biggish pinch of salt. Lovely. We need like a teaspoon of onion granules and a teaspoon of garlic granules.
Okie dokie.
We're using granules because we don't want lumps of things in the sauce, because it's macaroni cheese, it needs to be smooth, so you don't want lots of onion and garlic in there.
So a teaspoon of each, did you say? Yeah. That's my onion granules. And granules.
Now we need to pour in some soy milk. I do this by eye, so just sort of so it covers about half the vegetables. It doesn't really matter because when you blitz it, if it's too thick, we'll just plop in a bit more.
Okie dokie, so just so that it covers it. Is that about right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Looks about that.
And then I'd put in maybe 3 teaspoons of the yeast flakes, which are, they are actually quite cheesy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe 4, maybe 5.
Ooh, maybe 5.
Yeah, put in 5. We'll go with 5, and then we'll taste it when we blitz it and see what it's like. You just blitz it until it's a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. Alright, it's all nice and smooth and creamy. So now if you want to have a little taste, and if you think it needs to be cheesier, we'll put in some more flakes.
Or maybe a little bit cheesier.
Then put in another few teaspoons of the veggie whatevers.
Veggie whatevers.
Okay.
Give it another little blitz. Woo!
Woohoo!
Have a little taste.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, it's done. That's it.
So that's your vegan sauce.
So you can put that in a pot, you can freeze it, you can just leave it for a day and then just warm it up the next day and it's fine. And if it's a bit, if it tightens up a bit and it's too thick, just pop in a bit more soy milk and you just heat it up in the microwave. And you just add it to the pasta. And then that's your vegan sauce done.
Okay. So we get on to do the dairy sauce now.
Well, we'll do a bit of meat and then we'll get on with the cheese sauce, yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to make the cheesy sauce.
Uh-oh.
But if you'd like to add some meat to your macaroni cheese, you can fry off some lardons.
So we'll have them going in the background because it takes a while. But basically just put them in a pan and fry them until they're nice and crispy. And then pop them in a bit of kitchen towel. But for the sauce, we've got what we need up here. We've got butter, flour, and then I use mature cheddar cheese. I also use an Italian hard cheese, so something like Parmesan or something like that. But I just use cheap stuff because you just need it for. Otherwise, it doesn't come out cheesy enough. So, and milk, of course. So yeah, but we'll just get the lardons going, and then we'll start with the sauce. we're going to do a cheese sauce now, which can be a little bit tricky, but we'll be alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of flour, and we're going to make a roux. So Becky's going to cut 50 grams off, pop it in this pan, and we're going to let it melt. I'll pop the heat on sort of like a medium. You don't want it too hot because you don't want the butter to brown.
There we go.
Nice 50
Do I cube it? What do I do?
Chop it up a bit, yeah, melt quicker. I'll pop that back in the fridge if you want.
There we go.
I'm going to let that melt. So you can weigh out 50 grams of flour in our lovely little scales that you thought were so funny.
Well, they do look a bit pathetic, don't they, really? It's probably because you don't usually measure things out.
No, maybe.
Okay, so 2, so
50.
oops, I've gone a bit over, I think.
Doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, the butter's melted and it's going a little bit bubbly, which is great. So you want to just put the flour in and stir it around.
Okie
Stir it around. That's your roux. But you have to cook it out for a little while. So you stir it around until it's all amalgamated, and then you let it cook out in the pan.
What does cook out mean? I don't understand.
Well, otherwise it ends up tasting floury in the sauce. Like you can taste the sort of flour.
Right.
So if you let it cook out, then it doesn't do that. So let it just cook away in the middle there. When I was at catering college, they said that you cook it till it looks like wet sand, but I never really understood what they meant. But maybe you will.
Come and have a look in the pan, because I would never have thought that you would do that.
Yeah, you just let that cook for a little while,
Okay.
and we'll see. We'll come back in a minute, and it'll look like wet sand.
So this has been in here for what? 2 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Now what do we do?
We start adding the milk. We're probably going to add all together probably about 1.5 pints maybe of milk, but we'll just keep going until we get the consistency we want. But we have to do it a little tiny bit at a time. So you add milk, you stir it crazily as hard as you can.
Whoa.
It'll thicken up really, really thick, and then you want it to start boiling, and you stir it until all the lumps have gone, then you add a little bit more milk, and you just keep going until you get to where you want to be.
It sounds a bit tricky.
It can be tricky, but we'll be...
Is it beyond my capabilities?
We're about to find out. Don't have it on too hot because you don't
how
want to do it
much
too
milk
fast.
then?
Go and I'll take that shot. Yeah, about that. Now start stirring. It'll get really thick. Got to stir fast and furious.
Ah!
It'll get really thick, and then you just have to keep going around. Take off the heat a bit. It's going a bit fast. Just keep stirring like a crazy fool. Right. Hopefully there's no lumps in there. So we're going to add in the same amount of milk again and do it again.
Okie dokie. This much milk?
Yeah. It's a bit weird, but it's just the way it is. It'll work, don't worry.
It's very splashy.
Yeah. That's probably more down to your technique
Thanks for him.
than anything else.
Shall I add some more milk?
Yeah, a
again?
little bit more than you did last time because we're getting past the danger zone.
That much?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I don't really understand how you do this without splashing.
Yeah. You having fun?
I'm making a bit of a mess.
That's alright. You can try that later.
Thanks, babe.
And look, it goes disgusting sometimes, but you just keep going and it turns back into a nice smooth one again. No wonder I've got tennis elbow.
So it's looking saucy now.
It is looking saucy now.
Do we add more milk again?
Yeah, you can add quite a bit this time.
Okie dokie.
Put the rest of that in.
All of this?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's a lot of milk, are you sure?
Yeah.
Right, let's
And then give it
go.
a stir. Look. Mmm. Yummy bacon goodness. Okay, it's got a little bit lumpy, not a major problem. So if it does, just get a whisk out and go with the whisk and the lumps will disappear, but I think it'll be fine. It's a bit hard work on the elbow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Why did we do this one again?
Yeah, it's looking better, isn't it? Keep going, keep it up. Faster. Faster.
Bite me!
Right. I'm just getting some water ready for the pasta in the background. Look, you can't stop.
Oh, I was letting them look at the water.
Never stop.
Oh, God.
See, whisk work wonders. We're going to put in a little bit more milk, it's still a bit thick, not much. Just keep going.
We're using skimmed milk, aren't we? Because that's what we drink.
Yeah, but if you wanted it a bit richer, get some of the blue stuff. But it's not as good for you. And you are going to add about a ton of cheese, so maybe you don't need it.
Okie dokie, what's next?
Grater and cheese.
So what do I do with this? Just leave it?
Yeah, turn the heat right down and leave it. It's fine. It needs to cook out a bit anyway, so that's great. And that's really good. Really good. Look at that silky, beautiful, yummy. I put in cheese and then I taste it, and if it tastes cheesy enough, I stop, and if it doesn't, I put in more. So I would use about half of this hard cheese, and yeah, a big old chunk of that as well. Not all of that, probably about half of that.
So I've grated some cheddar. This much cheddar?
Yeah, that's good.
All of it at the same time?
Yep.
Okay.
Chuck it in. And then do half that block of parmesan.
Do I need to stir this or anything?
It'll just melt in.
Okay.
I'll get it stir when you
I can't open the parmesan.
Oh.
I really can't open it. Get a knife. Okay, about half of this, did you say?
Yeah. Do it on the fat one. So pop that in, and then we'll let it melt, and then we'll give it a taste. And yeah. You need to keep your sauce moving about a little bit as well, because otherwise it will burn on the bottom a bit. And cleaning a burnt sauce pan is really horrible with this stuff. So we'll let that melt, and then we'll taste it. You can add a little bit of mustard if you want. If you want it to be a bit more grown up, entirely up to you. Just a teaspoon of Dijon in there will be fine, and maybe a little bit of salt. But taste it first and see whether you want to or not. It looks great. Becky's going to taste it, see what she thinks of the cheese levels. And then she's quite cheesy.
I do like a bit of cheese. That's really good.
Is that alright? Is that taste good?
Yeah.
All done?
Yep.
Okay, so the sauce is done. At this point, if you want to make it meaty, you can chuck your lardons in, give them a stir around, or if not, just leave them as they are and just put them on the table and you can sprinkle over when you have it for your dinner. Now, this at work, we'll just make the pasta now, put the sauce and the pasta together and serve it up like that. If you want to get a nice crusty, cheesy top on top of it, just put it in an oven-proof container, dish or whatever, sprinkle with loads of cheese, put it under a really hot grill for a few minutes. I would never bake it because it goes really dry and gacky, and I don't like it, and it overcooks the pasta as well. So
we don't put it in the oven at work for the kids, do we?
No, I never bake it or put a cheesy top on it at work because we're making too much of it really to do that. But if you want that, then you can do that and it's fine.
But we usually have a pot of the cheesy macaroni cheese, a pot of the vegan macaroni cheese, and the bacon lardons all separate because we have some children that are dairy free but still have the bacon. And that way they can all kind of mix it up for how they want it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, your sauce is ready. You can leave that on a very low heat. It's sometimes worth putting a bit of clinker over the top so it doesn't form a skin. Then just cook your pasta mix together and you're done. And that's it.
So girls, what do you think? You put some bacon bits on.
Yeah, it's very good. Sprinkle them.
Have a little taste and tell me what you think.
Yeah, it's good.
What? Do I get a thumbs up?
10 out of 10.
Yay!